I'm at the Oakwood Cemetery. This is a historic cemetery, like tucked in the back end of a neighborhood in Fort Worth, Texas. And we're going to go visit an odd story involving the Old West, which is indirectly tied to Taylor Sheridan's 1883. There was a deputy marshal named Longhair Jim Courtright who was killed by a gambler named Lamar Short. And we're going to go visit some graves right now. So right now we're going to start with Mr. Courtright. And I say 1883 because Billy Bob Thornton portrayed Longhair Jim Courtright in 1883, the television show. See, because I already seen Mr. Courtright's grave. It is right there. So we're going to take a minute and go say howdy do to Mr. Courtright. So there is the entrance to the cemetery that I just came through. And if you want to see Mr. Courtright, all you gotta do is just come right up that little road. Now you're gonna see that crypt right there, that crypt right there. They're both really small. He's right in between them. So we'll go up here. Here he is right here. Says Jim Long-haired Courtright, 1845 to 1887. Let's see, I'll try to read this. U.S. Army Scout, U.S. Marshal, Frontiersman, Pioneer, representative of a class of men now passing from Texas, who, whatever their faults were, type of that brave, courageous manhood which command respect and admiration, erected in 1953 in memory of Jim by his descendants. It's just some kind of dirty covering on it, made it a little hard to read, but this is where he is. And you can see, for all in all, this is a historical looking little cemetery, but there is some overgrowth. But he's right here. Now, I'm gonna take a little trip just around the corner here in this cemetery and show you something kind of rad. So, okay, so let me turn around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, you say, you mentioned Luke Lamar Short as well. Luke Lamar Short, by the way, killed Longhair Jim Courtright in a street fight at the White Elephant Saloon in the Fort Worth Stockyards. Now, Jim Courtright got interned here at this cemetery in Fort Worth. Luke Lamar Short moved on, spent time in Colorado, in Kansas. He eventually died in Kansas. And let me see, we're gonna see what I'm looking for here. So I want you to pay attention to where I'm going in relation to Mr. Courtright's grave. I'm looking right now. Either this row or the next one. Oh, dude, there's a squirrel sitting on a headstone. Yeah, it's the next one then. Okay, let's go around here. It's one thing you always got to watch when you're visiting a cemetery. Not all of them really are great about upkeeping their little roads and paths and stuff. Okay, so let's see. Here it is. Right there, folks. Luke Lamar Short, 1854 to 1893. So, you got lawman Jim Courtright gets killed by Luke Lamar Short, and Mr. Courtright gets interned in Fort Worth in this little cemetery. You got Luke Lamar Short that killed Mr. Courtright in that fight, who goes upon his life, ends up dying in Kansas. They bring him back to Fort Worth. He ends up in the exact same cemetery as Longhair Jim Courtright, basically right around the corner. So not only did you have a problem with the man that you killed, you get to spend eternity in the same cemetery around the corner from him. Ain't that a trip? That is an absolute trip and a half, isn't it? So that's where he is, folks. So we'll look around the rest of this place just a wee bit. Yeah, this cemetery is really, really old. You can tell the time and the elements have hit just about every one of these headstones, it looks like. See, you just make that little circle right there, and now we're back where we were a minute ago. There's the church. It's got a little church in there. So and now we're back in Mr. Courtright. Dad, man. See that angel up there at the top of that one? Gothic looking, isn't it? Looked and did a little reading about Mr. Courtright. He served as a marshal and as a deputy marshal. But yeah, he lost his life in the Fort Worth stockyards. If you go down to the Fort Worth stockyards, see, if you go and look at the video I made about the shooting location for Taylor Sheridan's 1883, you'll see that down in the stockyard area they have certain stars that they put for different people on the sidewalks. It's sort of like the Texas version of the Hollywood stars on the Star Walk, you know. And I happen to know that Luke Lamar Short has a star down there. So there's the town of Fort Worth through the trees. Looks like somebody's starting to cut this grass back here. Okay, now we're back where we started. I thank y'all very much for coming on this visit. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please do. Appreciate it if you'd like my videos. Y'all have a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.